the important pieces of my history are that I have learned new things, new areas of law multiple times. And I never want to be in a situation where I don't absolutely know the law and the rules and have that level of excellence that makes me feel confident. So I have always gone to the bottom of every subject that I've gotten to. And that gives you the ability to get to the expertise so that you can make a difference, so that you can really change things. So as a state attorney, I wanted to be a prosecutor in juvenile. And I wanted to do that because I wanted to be able to change the lives of those children. And I did, and I was harsh, but I was also compassionate. And I knew when there was a option available for them to be diverted out to do that. And I was in front of an incredible judge who left a wonderful impression on me and them, Judge Brian Davis. He was amazing, and he was up in Fernandina for quite some time as well. So then I went to sex crimes on purpose. I know people wouldn't want to do that, but to me it was really important to represent those victims and to have the strength to be a hero for them, because they would always be in their own lives surviving from that victimization, but they would always have the memory of someone who stood up for them and was brave for them. And I was fairly relentless in being able to prosecute those cases, because if they're innocent, I am absolutely going to uncover that and I am going to drop that case. But if they are guilty, they are going to have to pack their toothbrush, because there's no reason for them to come back into our community. And if people abuse children and worse, molest children, they need to go to prison. And when I did that job in the Child Predator Cybercrime Unit from the Attorney General's office, when we would arrest someone for luring a child on the computer, the punishment was 0 to 5 years. So they would get online and they would get this child all wrapped up to do terrible things to themselves and to them. And that's a crime. Soliciting a child on the computer was a crime, and it was a third-degree felony that you could go to jail for up to 5 years. That's it, 5 years, jail or probation. And then they would get in the car and then they would go meet the child, and I would say, well, that's a whole other crime. That's not just soliciting them on the computer, that's getting in the car and going to meet them. Well, that wasn't another crime. And people were getting probation for 5 years for that, and they would show up with things in their car that would let you know they intended to hurt this child. So I wrote the law. I told the Attorney General, we need to fix this, and God bless him, he said yes, and he found the sponsors, and I wrote that law, and now it is a second-degree felony. In addition to the first crime, it's a second-degree felony if you get in your car and you do that. And that was a powerful thing to be able to do as a prosecutor, to be able to say, well, I can make it better. And then when I was at the Attorney General's office, I also created the cyber safety program for kids. And so that was something that the Attorney General wanted to get in every middle and high school. And everybody said, you can't get it every single middle and high school. The only people that were supposed to be teaching it were my 8 victim advocates that I wrote a grant to get in our team. And so I wrote this grant for the Child Predator Cybercrime Unit through the Violence Against the VOCA, Violence Against Crime Act. And so we got a grant, and I had 8 victim advocates. Well, how are they going to get in all those schools? Well, I decided I could find a way. So we trained all the SROs, and they were willing to do it. We actually trained employees at the Attorney General's office that were willing to do this cyber safety program. And then we trained other people that were the law enforcement in the different local areas. And we got in every single middle and high school in the state of Florida with that cyber safety presentation. And I created some programs online so people could sign up and register for those programs. All that to say, I am someone who, if there's something that is broken or not working or inefficient, I'm going to fix it, because there's no reason for it not to be made more efficient and easier and better for people. And so I hope to bring that to the bench. I hope to be able to use the experience I've had with being in court consistently all the time. And as a family law lawyer, I have just done a great deal of work working with families that are, sometimes the story goes one way and it looks like it's a traditional situation where mom needs to be with the child. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it goes the other way. And I think what has been the most important quality of what I hope to bring to the bench is that a judge needs to not always know the answer. You cannot have an instant conclusion about what the facts are. Because if you do, then you're imposing your own judgments. And you don't want to impose your own judgments because you could be wrong. And so if we think we know everything, and we don't leave ourselves the opportunity to find the truth, then we're not going to be able to truly give justice to the community. And so my goal is to be the kind of judge who truly finds the answer. I don't want to, make a quick decision because it's easier and it's going to get off my jacket and I'm going to go home on Friday. That's not my goal. My goal is to seek justice. That's the oath that I took when I became a lawyer, and that's the oath that I'll take as a judge, and that's really why I want to be a judge in this county. And I love this area, so I could talk a lot more, but I really just want to open it up for all of you. Thank you.